11 important U.S. traffic laws every driver should know. You can learn the fundamental traffic laws and driving regulations from your state's driving manual. Usually, your state's transportation department website has a comprehensive list of all driving and traffic rules. All drivers need to be familiar with the fundamental traffic regulations because breaking them can lead to dangerous driving conditions and may be punished with a fine, a penalty, or even the suspension of your driver's license. The law is the law and must be adhered to strictly. Traffic laws are not subject to interpretation. In addition to watching this video, it's vital to look up the fundamental traffic laws and driving regulations in your driver's manual because they vary from state to state. Even nevertheless, the majority of the country's fundamental traffic rules are the same or quite similar. Basic Speed Principle. There is a law known as the Basic Speed Law that is present in many states, including Texas and California. According to this rule, motorists must adhere to a safe speed limit that takes into account the state of the road and the volume of traffic. Even if they are driving at the posted speed limit or less, drivers may still receive a ticket for violating this statute. Never forget that the official speed restrictions are based on ideal or typical circumstances. Drivers must slow down even more than the posted limit when confronted with hazardous conditions such as inclement weather, high traffic, or other situations. Initial speed limitations. It's against the law to go beyond the posted speed limit. Even if there aren't any posted speed limit signs on the road, you still need to be aware of the speed limit for the area you are driving in. When there are no posted speed limit signs, each state has broad, prima facie speed limitations that nevertheless apply. Primarily, the kind of the road and the locality influence the speed limits. The United States has generally similar speed limits, with a few small exceptions. In our subsequent post, Speed Limits Across the U.S., we include additional state-specific instances of primary speed limits. Don't forget to consult your official driver's manual to find the speed restrictions in your state. Right-hand driving. To avoid collisions between opposing streams of traffic, one of our nation's oldest traffic laws requires drivers to stay to the right side of the road. Unless overtaking another vehicle, avoiding an obstruction, using a multi-lane highway, or navigating a one-way street, drivers should always stay to the right. Slow traffic must maintain the right. The slowest car should be in the right lane when there are several lanes of traffic traveling in the same direction on a road. This regulation also applies to two-lane highways without a central barrier separating opposing lanes of traffic. On such a road, you must maintain the right and stick as close to the curb as you can if you must drive more slowly than other vehicles. When preparing to make a left turn or passing another vehicle, the stay right rule does not apply. Maintain your right side of the center line. The center line, which divides opposing traffic lanes, may not be exactly in the middle of the road. Except in the following circumstances, drivers are not permitted to veer to the left of the center line. You may utilize a lane that is to the left of the center line, such as a center left turn lane, according to traffic control devices. You must cross the center line to get around a barrier in the road. You must first give way to any motorists using the lane to your left, even in this scenario. To turn left into or out of a private road, alley, or driveway, you must cross the center line. Obey traffic signal instructions. All official traffic control equipment, including as signals, road signs, and pavement markings, must always be obeyed by drivers. If authorized traffic control officials, such as police officers, crossing guards, or road construction workers, advise you to disregard a traffic control device, you must obey their instructions. Make your intentions known. Not only is it a good idea to provide a warning before turning, changing lanes, or pulling out of a parking space, but it's also the law. According to the majority of state drivers' manuals, drivers are required to signal their intentions to turn continuously for 100 feet before the turn, deactivating the signal only once the operation is finished. Keep a secure following distance. The definition of safe following distance changes depending on the state of the road and the volume of traffic. In some circumstances, a certain amount of space may be considered safe. All motorists are required to keep a safe distance from the car in front of them while avoiding unnecessarily impeding traffic. Your following distance should be based on your speed, the quantity and location of other cars on the road, the state of the road surface, and the weather. Drivers of large vehicles, such as trucks, RVs, and cars pulling trailers, must also take into account how much room is required for other vehicles to pass them. Whenever you move, do so safely. If drivers do a maneuver without exercising sufficient caution, they may receive a ticket. Even when a movement is allowed, or not expressly barred by a traffic sign, it may nevertheless be considered illegal if it endangers other road users. Any driving maneuver should always be completed at a safe moment while exercising extreme caution. Follow backup regulations. Reversing is not allowed on limited access highways or the shoulders of the road. If doing so will impede or put other drivers in danger, never reverse. Legislation pertaining to child safety. Every state has the same laws regarding child protection. Children shouldn't ride on an adult's lap since they can get crushed in an accident. A car must always be kept occupied when a child is around. Children must be secured in age and size appropriate, federally approved car seats. Various rules pertaining to minor passengers vary depending on where in the country you are. In Texas, for example, it is illegal for anyone under the age of 16 to ride in the bed of a pickup truck unless it is part of a procession or is parked on private property. Check your official driver's manual for any child safety regulations particular to your state.